Welcome back to the channel, and we are here for a special new Guitar Day unboxing. So I will get straight to the point here. I just got home from work. I was happy to see this standing up against my door. Okay, so this was ordered directly from Musician's Friend. Just a here. You see the packaging. This is a open box item, which I'll get into a little bit more here. And I've been wanting one of these for a very long time. I'm excited to see it. So, with no further ado, oh yeah, this is a G&L Tribute ASAT Special in Irish Ale over a mahogany body. I had originally ordered one of these a little more than a year ago. These have always been in very high demand, and it was on back order forever. And I just eventually canceled it because it was so long. I think it ended up being like months and months before they actually got them in. And I've been wanting one ever since, and here very recently, for the new year, G&L is going to be upgrading, not upgrading necessarily, but updating their lineup. And some of those have already been released a bit, and they have changed some of the models. So what made this special is that it is a mahogany body, because the ASAT Special, the outgoing line, Tribute, came in three colors: black, surf green, and Irish Ale, which is of course this. The black and the surf green had basswood bodies, and this one has mahogany. And I know people fight on the internet all day about how much and if the type of wood plays a difference in how a guitar sounds. And my opinion is, does it make a difference? Yes. A huge difference? No, but it's a noticeable difference. And I think that for this type of guitar, mahogany would be superior, because I've really wanted to try these G&L Jumbo MFD pickups. I think one thing that started making these guitars popular was when Rob Chapman and Lee Anderton on the Andertons channel a while back did a video about them and just loved them. And I loved them too, because, and I apologize if I get some of the minute details about this wrong, Leo Fender designed these, and he was tremendously proud of them because they have a lot of distinct features that he felt were an upgrade on the pickups he designed in the early Fender days. These are higher output, not necessarily because of a higher resistance, but because of strong magnetic fields. And as you might be able to tell, each one of these individual pull pieces is adjustable with an Allen key. So you're not just raising one side or the other of the pickup, you can adjust each one of them. And I remember Rob Chapman playing a blindfold test with this guitar. He had the black one with the basswood body, and just loving it. And blindfolded, he said he thought it might have been a Sur. And how fat these pickups sounded. I've never played. I played in a guitar store the regular size MFD magnetic field design pickups, but I've never played the jumbo ones before. So that's one of the main draws to this guitar. Let's go through some of the other specs while I have it here. This is a Brazilian cherry fingerboard, which it looks really nice. And again, you've seen I've not played it yet. Feels nice. Feels and looks a lot like rosewood. 9.5-inch radius. I believe these are medium jumbo frets. Another innovation, unique for the most part to the ASAT Special, is this saddle lock bridge, which Leo Fender came up with the idea because people always talk about, what's for Telecaster style guitars, which this obviously is, though in the beginning of GNL, this wasn't quite as Telecaster shaped. I understand. I've seen some pictures, but I've never seen one of those in person. People get into 3-saddle, 6-saddle, intonation improvements with the 6-saddle, whether it sounds better, more traditional. Well, this is not supposed to sound like a traditional Telecaster. I believe he came up with this in the 80s, coming up with what he saw as improvements. So this has the 6 individual adjustable saddles, but they lock into place and are held together like a single unit. And I believe this bridge, and you can see it's not string through body, it's a top loader, so to speak, from what I've read, goes down into the body to really make it resonate well. Gloss neck, and just a little bit of backstory on this specific guitar. So I wanted this forever, and the Irish Ale color will now have a sassafras body and cost $90 more. And this was out of stock as it usually is, so I thought, well, great. As used guitar prices are here in November of 2021, it's already hard to find this specific one. And since they're not making it anymore with a mahogany body, who knows? This retails $499. You might find them for $400. You might find them for $700 in the months to come. I thought, well, for $700 for a Indonesian-made guitar, that's a steep asking price. So then I just kept checking because I was actually seeing if they were getting the new ones in. And this is an open box scratch and dent one, and it was $399. So it's brand new, but it's open box. And I have to say, one thing I've noticed, and it's kind of similar to Squiers, you have to watch out for, is sometimes there are light ones and sometimes there are heavy ones. This is absolutely a light one. In fact, I'm really excited to weigh it and see how much it weighs. And let's go through some of the details here. Just traditional. Man, the pots feel really good. Switch feels really good. It feels nicer than a lot of times this is a little more expensive than a Squier Classic Vibe, but that's what a lot of people compare the Tribute range to. And then full disclosure, I have a Legacy Tribute with an ash body that I loved, but it had some problems with the nut and the I don't know, I'm still figuring out exactly if it's the frets are too high or what, but it really does not want to play right around the nut. Changed the nut, which was a pain because it was glued in all the way across with super glue. But anyway, some things about it I love, but then it had some issues. I'm eager to try this one out and see what kind of QC it has, though. Again, I think, and I'm just looking, and we see it have this sticker which indicates it was inspected in Fullerton, California, even if it wasn't made there. There is a bit of an indentation or bump. It feels like maybe this may or may not really come through right underneath my thumb here. Right there's a rough spot. It's almost like there was a little rough spot that they put finish over. But I can fix that if that is in fact the defect. But again, maple neck. You can see a little bit of fingering there. Gloss. It does feel a lot like my Classic Vibe Esquire that you may have seen on the channel. But again, you're seeing me open it. Almost in tune. Let's just tune it up here real quick. Yeah, everything's a little bit flat so far, but not bad. And the setup on it, the little bit I've touched it, feels pretty good out of the box. I don't know if that's probably a G&L thing, because this looks like that's a B stock sticker, I'm guessing. If anyone has any other notions in the comments, please feel free to let me know. So it's like, it feels like this was set up at the Fullerton facility where it was deemed to be a B stock. But just go really quick unplugged here. Feels good. Just noodling a little bit. The nut definitely looks better than on the Legacy I had. And I came ready. I have a Fender Champion 600. And I know a lot of people prefer that style jack as opposed to a Telecaster round one. So this will be the first time hearing it. Again, this is no effects, a Fender Champion 600 bridge pickup. And keep this family friendly, but I remember that Rob Chapman says the MFD instead of a magnetic field design should stand for mother effing dense, and I can tell that's very thick compared to a traditional Telecaster. And again, this is not meant to be a traditional Telecaster. In fact, Leo Fender, whether or not he said this or just the G&L marketing people say this might be the quintessential Leo Fender single cut, because this really was, I think, the last one, I might be wrong about that he really designed before he died, and a lot of improvements. But we'll go to the middle position here, both pickups. Sounds really good. Again, this is just a little tube amp with a small speaker, no effects. Go to the neck. Man, I'm really impressed so far. Again, I'm thinking this might be what makes it a B stock, this little spot right here, which I could sand off very delicately. If that's it, man, this is an amazing guitar so far. I'm very eager to weigh it and see what it weighs, because I'm not sure if I finished my thought earlier, but some of the classic vibe Squires and these I've seen can be really heavy for this type of guitar. They might be wonderful in every other way, and you know, we all have preferences in terms of weight, but I just don't think a Telecaster style guitar weighing over 9 pounds is a good thing, and this one definitely doesn't. So I'm eager to see exactly what it weighs. So what I'm going to do is try this out some. I'll record some sound samples, weigh it, and come back with my final thoughts here in just a bit. Okay, now I want to do a little fun comparison here. This G&L Tribute ASAT Special with jumbo MFD pickups, and this parts caster I've put together with a Ventera body, American Performer neck, and American Professional II V-Mod II pickups. This is not to necessarily compare these two guitars, but to compare what the G&L ASAT Special and those ceramic jumbo magnetic field design pickups sound like next to very traditional Telecaster pickups. The V-Mod 2s are traditional output, maybe ever so slightly hotter, but if not very much, if at all. And they have Alnico 2 magnets, I believe, for the 3 high strings, and Alnico 5 for the 3 low strings. And that's not a 100% traditional setup, but it's sort of an optimized setup. But the point's, again, not really to compare these two guitars or shoot them out or anything, but to give you what's basically, though not a Telecaster, a hot-rodded Telecaster style sound with more output and a more traditional vintage style sound. Because one of the points of this guitar is not to sound directly like a vintage Telecaster. So I'm going to play the same thing back and forth on all 3 pickup settings for each guitar. This one has a serious humbucker mode, but I'm not going to do that since this one doesn't. So let me know what you think in the comments. And again, I understand these are 2 different guitars. This is an alder body, maple neck and fretboard, mahogany body, maple neck, and Brazilian cherry fretboard. So again, this is not an A-B comparison. This is to generally compare what an ASAT Special is supposed to sound like to what a Telecaster with fairly vintage specs is supposed to sound like, because they are not necessarily the same thing. And this might give you an idea, if you're in the market for either or both, to how they sound right next to each other. So again, let me know what you think in the comments. put it through its paces, and I have to say, I love this guitar. Everything positive I've seen and heard about it on YouTube videos over the last couple of years from some of my favorite channels is absolutely true. I've never played a Sur, so I don't know what that would feel like exactly, but I can say it feels extremely high-end. Again, people compare these to classic vibes. I think that's a fairly good comparison. They're a little different, but they do have that feeling of if you did one of those Anderton's blindfold challenges and I was sitting here with my eyes closed and felt this neck, how well put together it feels, how it sounded, I would think that this was a American-made guitar. I mean, I'm not sure what the $1,400 Fullerton, California-made version of this is like, but if it's any better than this, it's amazing. Now, I will note a few things I didn't say in the beginning. I believe that these pickups, these jumbo MFD pickups designed by Leo Fender with ceramic magnets, are made in the USA. I think they are the exact same pickups as is in the G&L American line. And that's fantastic for this price point. Now, as I said in the beginning, I'm filming this in mid-November 2021. G&L is, if you look back over the years, they've offered the ASAT Special in a variety of woods and finishes. If you look on Musician's Friend right now, this one is back ordered, and I'm not sure they'll ever get more because Sweetwater on their website shows that it is out of production. But if you can find one, the retail is $4.99 for this one. Now, a little more confusingly at the moment, so you have to do your homework, they have the black and the surf green still for $4.99 in this iteration. The new iteration comes in black and surf green, but instead of a basswood body, it's a poplar body, and it's $50 more. They still offer an Irish ale finish, but again, it's on sassafras, which the solid finishes look just the same because they're solid finishes. But with this, you see the wood grain here, and I should note that at some angles you can tell more than others. This is a three-piece mahogany body. But no, the sassafras has a much more ash-like appearance. I believe it's more of an ash substitute since, unfortunately, for various ecological reasons, ash is becoming hard to come by. But it's a very different look than this, even if it is the same color, and it has a black pick guard. The big difference is that the outgoing models have the traditional Telecaster style non-contoured back. The new models have a contoured back. The ash one, and there's also a sunburst in the sassafras, which is really pretty with a tortoise pick guard. The sassafras body ones I think are $5.89 for the new models, and the poplar bodies are $5.49, and everyone again has their own opinions on woods, but I think that otherwise they're extremely similar. So what you've heard, the sound should be very similar again, other than the body wood being different. But the pickups, I believe, are identical. These are 18-to-1 ratio tuners, non-locking. I think that's the same. I think it is rosewood now for the fretboard. So those are just some of the differences, but again, very similar. It won't be substantially different other than maybe the finish and the pick guard than what you've seen and heard in this video. Also, I love the tint on this. That's a very nice tint. This is just an extremely high quality guitar for a very reasonable price. And I did weigh it. It is 7 pounds 8 ounces. That is one thing, as I said at the top of the video, to look out for. If you can get on to Sweetwater or a site that lets you see the weights. Again, a guitar like this, and everyone has their own opinion as to weight, but like a Fender Master Builder said in a Phil McKnight video, you want to watch out for, in my opinion, super, super light and super, super heavy. And a guitar, a Telecaster guitar like this should weigh in the 7 to 8 pound range, in my opinion. If you're getting, again, if it's a solid body, if you're getting over 9 pounds, you know, that's getting pretty hefty, and some of the classic vibes have that issue. But man, this is about perfect. And again, this was just luck of the draw because this was off a musician's friend and it was open box. And again, and I also noticed there might be a little black mark here. It might have even been from a stand. I'm not sure that, though I don't believe musician's friend, to the best of my knowledge, has a actual store you can go to like Sweetwater. It almost looks like it's from a stand. So maybe this was some type of display model, but really the only imperfection I could find for this to be a B stock is right there, and otherwise it's great. Fret ends feel really nice. I wouldn't say perfect, but really nice. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give them for the fret ends, a 9. I mean, the classic Vibe Esquire I have over here was perfect. I mean, the only guitars I can think of that might have compared to it were my PRS S2 Standard 24 and my American Standard Stratocaster. But the rest of the fret work, I tested it out. It was kind of boring, but every note rings free. There's no dead frets, no dead spots anywhere on the neck. Frets could use a little bit of a polish, but again, it's a B stock, so I don't know exactly what the origin of this was before it got to me, but I'm just super. That's one thing you can kind of tell, and when you're a guitar player, I can just pick this guitar up and hold the neck and hold the bottom, and you can just tell that this is a quality guitar. It does not feel cheap, and that's perhaps the thing that impresses me the most. I think it sounds great. It has its very distinctive sound. It is not a traditional Telecaster sound, but it sounds great, and you can judge for yourself in the numerous sound clips, the various pedals and a couple of different amps. But this just feels like a great guitar. Again, if you blindfolded me and handed it to me and told me it was an American Professional Telecaster, I would believe you. Other than it doesn't have a heel contour, but you know what I mean. If you told me it was a Fullerton-made GNL, I would believe you. So, as always, it's best to check these out in the stores if possible. I was really hoping to buy this at the Showtime Music Store near Beckley, West Virginia, where I've bought several guitars. Where I bought several guitars rather over the years, and they carry GNL, and that's actually where I got my Legacy from. They have a red Legacy I really like. I can't really justify getting it, but I really like it. But anyway, I actually asked them to order with the jumbo MFD pickups. And they did get some ASATs with the regular MFDs, which are great guitars, but I really wanted to try this one out because, again, the regular ASAT is more, even though it does have there are Alnico versions, it does have the MFD pickups, but it's more traditional Telecaster. It has a 6-saddle regular box style bridge like a Telecaster with brass saddles. But this really does, to me, and Leo Fender's just a fascinating guy to have come up with, in my opinion, the greatest electric guitars in the world and not even be a guitar player. But some of his last innovations were this saddle lock bridge, which locks into this single unit, like I said at the top of the video, and is nice little GNL branding there, you might be able to tell. And these MFD pickups, this is like taking his beloved Telecaster to the next level. And again, not necessarily, this might actually, some might argue, be better, but different and something for a more modern age, because he would come up with this in the 80s. And even though these aren't high-gain humbuckers, it's definitely, I would say, more modern sounding is accurate. And, for this to be one of the last, if not the last guitar that he seriously designed and created these design elements for, I mean, that's something special in and of itself. So, I mean, I love this guitar. I'm going to take this sticker and this plastic off, and it's definitely going in the collection. I feel like I'm going to get to play it a lot and use it a lot in my recording and in other things. And again, if you have the opportunity and you're interested, I can't urge you enough to try one, especially if you want this specific one, since it's might be hard to come by, and you never know how those things go. Like I said earlier, you might be finding this, which is a $500 retail guitar, for $300 here in 6 months. You might be finding it for $800 in 6 months. I mean, I know that because of the current market, that Mexican-made Fender standards from the 90s, which I love because that's what my black Telecaster is, you could get for $300, $350 2 years ago, now $600. So get it while you can, and I hope this has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, and leave any comments you have below. If I can answer any questions, I will to the best of my ability, and hope you have a great day and keep on rocking.